On to this now. Water has returned to some areas of Johannesburg this morning, but widespread outages continue to plague the city. One of the areas worst affected is Brixton, and that's where we find Newzroom Afrika's Govan Whittles, who is standing by there for us. Govan, good morning to you, and let's get the state of outages there. Just for how long have people been putting up with water cuts?
Well, for more than a week now, only people have been experiencing sporadic interruptions to their water supply. The report from residents is that it goes away for a few hours at the time, but Brixton certainly isn't the only area that's been affected by these water cuts. There's been a major outage affecting the Fourways area and surrounding areas, which has prompted Johannesburg Water to issue or deliver water through tankers. Some of them are stationary tankers, essentially just JoJo tanks that are put on the pavement, sometimes inside the property of municipal services at municipal service stations, such as the clinic behind me here in Brixton. In other areas, mobile water tankers are coming out, and people are literally filling up their water tanks, the 5-litre containers. Early this morning, things are a little bit better. It looks like the interruptions have been reduced to being for a few hours at a time. Inside the Crosby Clinic here in Brixton, there is water. In the suburb itself, there have been a few outages that have plagued the community for more than a week. Of course, yesterday we saw some residents interrupting that briefing by the mayor, which was meant to give an update on the interruptions and how long they're expected to last. These interruptions having continued throughout Water Week in the country, and the mayor, of course, and Johannesburg Water expected to give clarity in terms of when this will end. There are a lot of irate residents across the country, across the city at the moment, and it looks like the interruptions stretch from Fourways to Brixton to even down to Crown Mines, particularly in the area surrounding Auckland Park. There have been problems. There was also a major problem where they had to switch off the reservoir between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., which affected this general area that we're in at the moment. That due to maintenance. The supply of water being affected by the pumping problems by Johannesburg Water. We're expecting an update from the Johannesburg mayor. Let's bring in one of the residents around here, Mr. Ben Motoneng, staying in the area and has been dealing with the water cuts for quite a while. Just tell me what your experience has been like.
Like in the morning when we have to go to work now, we're struggling to bath, struggling to cook at night. We have to stay long hours waiting for the water to return. When we try and communicate with the councillor, he doesn't want to come back to us.
So is it a case of having to fetch water with the tanks?
Yes, like this, sometimes we take the buckets and we go, all of us in the community, we go to a certain area, maybe a recreational center, then we go fetch the water with the buckets.
So yesterday we saw the mayor talking about how they're addressing the problem, but we also saw a lot of residents who are quite angry at how the water cuts have been rolled out. Just tell me how long you've had this problem and what the communication has been like.
I think now it's been going on for about 2 months now. Yes, about 2 months. And then normally it comes back later, maybe at night while we are sleeping. But when we communicate with the councillor and stuff, he doesn't get back to us. He just keep quiet, and then we have to suffer the whole time.
Our understanding is that it's been really worse, or it's been at its worst over the last week. What do you mean when you say it's been off for about 2 months? Is that the short interruptions?
Yeah, it's the short interruptions, but it comes back maybe at night when you're sleeping until 5 o'clock in the morning. Then in the morning when you wake up, there's no water, and that's where we really need water, because we are working and we are in a bath and need breakfast to go to work. Then there's no water to use.
Finally, Mr. Motoneng, do you have any water at the moment?
Yes. This morning we had water. I was able to bath and cook and stuff like that.
All right. Thank you so much. Mr. Ben Motoneng is a resident here in the Brixton area. Well, a number of problems seeming to be resolved in the morning only, but the interruptions have been so frequent that people come to expect them during the day. The water tanker behind us hasn't been used by residents who filled up the containers just yet, but we are expecting to see those scenes later in the day as we take a tour of the city. For now, though, it's back to you.
Govan Whittles, thank you very much for that update.